Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. Welcome to this new YouTube channel Quality GS Classes. As we have discussed in our previous lecture about paper 2 of UGC-NET syllabus, especially for sociology. So in the previous lecture we have discussed about which thinkers. We have discussed about Emile Durkheim, in which we have discussed about what books he has written, different books. So you must remember those books because the questions are coming from those books only, the name of those books, and in and that also in timely manner, means in which year he has written those books. That also you have to remember. And next, we have seen some theories, the important major theories which have been propounded by Emile Durkheim. So measure the important theories we have seen there. Not every theory we have to see because it's a objective type question. So here important theories they are asking in the exam. Now coming to this next lecture. Today we will see about the next classical sociologist thinkers, that is Max Weber. So if you come to the Max Weber, first of all we will see about his biography in brief, and after that which book he has written and some major theories. Like this only every thinkers we will study. So if you come to the Max Weber, then in Max Weber, what was his time period? 1864 to 1920, and he was born on April 21, 1864 in Erfurt, Germany. The place is Erfurt in Germany, in Protestant family. So it was a Protestant family, and his father was a bureaucrat. He was mainly, you can say, a political bureaucrat. And his profession, the profession of Max Weber, he has practiced many profession. He was also a sociologist, lawyer. He was a lawyer, then historian also. He has written some history books also, economist also, and he has given some lectures also, and he was a professor in some university also, like University of Berlin, and different universities are there. So he has taught also in many universities. So he was professor also, German sociologist also. So here we will see about Max Weber, that due to his background, that family background, as his mother was a Calvinist. Calvinist means, as a saintly person, you can say that, as a ascetic person. She was living a life of an ascetic woman, but his father was a kind of a pleasure kind of a taking person. So what was happening, that there was a kind of a disagreement between his mother and father. So also in later time period, when Max Weber started working and he was teaching as a professor, then he has gone through a depression also because of separation of their mother and father. So he was not able to decide to live with with which parents, either father or mother. So there was a kind of a depression and frustration Max Weber also, and it is given that 5-6 years he has gone in so much depression, clinical depression, that he was not able to recover himself, that he was not able to teach also, he was not able to write any books also. But after 5-6 years he has recovered himself, and then he has written some famous books like religious we are religious, that Protestant ethic and spirit of capitalism. That was a famous book. So Max Weber has written so many books also. So mainly this father, as he was a political bureaucrat, so there was a kind of a tussles between his thoughts, because the thoughts which Max Weber, and also at later period, at later age, Max Weber has started living ascetic life, very simple living, not that kind of a pleasure type of a person. He was not a pleasure taking a person. So he has lived a ascetic kind of a person, like wise his mother was living. So these kinds of that family background, that kind of you can say that uh, traits he has developed at later age of his life. So it is about his that main brief background. You can read his background, it is very much interesting also. So if you come to his books, which are very much important, about which books he has written. So first of all, he has written The Protestant Ethics and the Spirit of Capitalism, which was written in 1905. So here you also must remember, because in chronological order they are asking the year. Somewhere if you see the questions, they are asking the same, the like they will ask three, four books of same persons, like same thinkers, and somewhere they will ask about that, they will take the books of four different thinkers and they will ask to arrange in the chronological order, in an ascending or descending order in time period. So these kinds of questions they are asking. So you must have to remember all the books which they have written, important books, because in their lifetime they have written so many books, but which is important books from where we are reading so much. So we are reading the important theories based on those books. That books only you have to remember. So here I have covered all the important books itself, so you don't have to bother further. So if you come to the books, then Protestant Ethics and Spirit of Capitalism, this books he has written in 1905 after recovering from that depressions, clinical depression. So 1905, in which he has talked about the how the capitalism and religion, the relations between, the difference between, the similarity between the how the capitalism grow with the religion, how the religions sometimes push forward for capitalistic to become a country, a capitalist to become a person, a capitalistic kind of a person. So this the relations he has talked on the Protestant ethics and the spirit of capitalism. Next, the book he has written, The Religion of India, in 1916. So he has also about, he has also talked, he has also written about the Indian religion, how the religion is practiced in India, and also he has given some facts, some information of India also. And third book he has written about politics as a vocation in 1919. Fourth was science as a vocation in 1919. Fifth was the sociology of religion, 1920. So mainly about the religion main books he has written. And third and sixth was the city, in which year, 1921. Seventh was basic concepts in sociology, 1922. And eighth was economy and society in 1922. So these books he has written. Ninth, the theory of social and economic organization, 1947. 10th was the religion of China, 1951. So these many books he has written here. So you have to remember this. Mainly the books were explaining the religion part only, but some more books like for economy, because you are economist also, historian also, professor also, and lawyer also. So different kind of subjects he has dealt with. So this was the books which he has written. Now coming to the next part, the major theories. What major theories he has propounded? So he has given that first theory was the ideal type. So ideal type, what is the ideal type? Ideal means you can if you go with it a literal meaning, then you know ideal means others, means a kind of a perfect things. So ideal type, it's not a whole perfect, means it's not talking about the totality. So we will see what is the ideal type. The ideal type, it is a mental model, it is a model, mental construct, or measuring rods, means you are measuring some things, you are comparing with some things. So it is a kind of a model. So it is a, here it is not a mental, it is a mental construct, like a model for the investigation and systematic characterization of concrete situation. It investigates, classifies, organizes, and defines social reality without subjective bias. So there is no subjective bias, you are not going with something else. So there is not a kind of your personal subjective bias, how you are thinking. No, it's a reality, means what the assignment, what kind of research you are doing. So you are having that preconceived notion, what preconceived notion you are having, that you are terminating, that preconceived notions you are terminating, and that subjective bias you are uh, not having that kind of a subjective bias. So these kinds of investigate. So it's a, you can say ideal type is a kind of a, like here you can see, although ideal types are constructed from facts existing in reality, they do not represent or describe the whole of reality. They are pure types in the logical senses. Ideal types guide empirical research and are used in the systemization of data on historical and social reality. So what realities there, what reality are existing, so that kind of data it recognizes, that kind of data he mentions. So it is a systemization of data. Like for example, if you come, then like example, you are talking about the democracy, then what are the properties of democracy? That kind of means the systemization will be there. Like if you are talking about democracy, then you talk about the liberty, is there liberty is there, you talk about the individual liberty, you talk about the collectivism, you talk about the democracy in the rights, what rights people are getting or not. there is freedom of thoughts and expression or not. So these kinds of table you are performing, and you are giving a kind of a view. So this is a kind of a ideal type. You are researching if any topics, then these kinds of properties, what properties that researches consist, that kind of things, that is known as ideal type. So it's not getting a whole reality in a totality, but the specific reality it is giving, not that yes, subjective biasness. Max Weber has said that it should not have a subjective biasness, but yet, but obviously you know that if you any person is performing any kind of research, then obviously what the background of that person is, from where he has been educated, what is his background, what is family ground, that objective biasness will be there. Like you can see that about Max Weber also, because his mother was a Calvinist, she was leading a ascetic life, then obviously Max Weber has also have some interest in the religion. Like he has father has was a political bureaucrat, then obviously he has given the theory of bureaucracy, in which he has criticized also formal that bureaucrat system, what hierarchy system. So these kinds of background, what background you have and from where you have come, then that obviously it's get into your theory. If you are proposing the theory, then obviously there is some kind of a biasness is there. But yes, he has talked about that you should limit your biasness. It should not be a type of a total biasness should be there. Yes, some biasness is there, but not totality. So he has talked about that these ideal types do not talks about the totality. Yes, it's talked about the reality, but not in totality. So you have to remember these kinds of ideal types. Now next, what theory he has proposed? He has proposed about the authority. So he has defined the authority, that authority refers to a legitimized power. Where he has talked about the power refers to the ability or capacity to control or influence the action of others. Means how you are controlling the others, how your influences, how you influence the others, that is known as powers. So authority means not that as a kind of authoritarian structure, but authority means legitimate power. Means people are giving you a kind of a legitimacy that yes, you can rule over us, you can rule over us. So these kinds of things are known as authority. So if he, and further he has explained about the types of authority. So in the types of authority, he has talked about the traditional authority, charismatic authority, rational legal authority. So we will see these different authorities in separate that slide. So if you see the traditional authority, so by example I am explaining you here what is traditional authority. So if you come to the traditional authority, then in traditional authority it is said that this system of legitimization flows from traditional actions. Means this traditional authority, if you come to this traditional authority, so here the systems, the rules, the norms which are based on, what is based on traditional norms, rules are, society are based on traditional norms and values, and it is based on customary laws, what the customs people follow, customary laws. So that mean name only suggests traditional authority. And you are selecting the authority, the persons who are ruling over you, you consider those persons having some kind of a inherited status, some kind of a, you can say that quality. So you are giving a traditional authority. Like if you have read the ancient history, then you have seen that traditional authority means that the person like Brahmins, the Kshatriyas, the Vaisyas, Sudras, in which we have seen that the Kshatriyas were ruling over the society, ruling over the community. Brahmins were entitled to read the scriptures, they were performing the rituals, the religious scriptures they were allowed to read, they were performing the rituals. So these kinds of authority you were giving, and it's not that they were having by it force. No, that was a kind of a legal authority which the persons itself they were giving those kinds of authority to that persons. So these are the examples of like queen, like in Britain also today also their rule is there of queen only. Yes, it is that you said democracy is there, but yes, that is the kind of monarchy democracy are there. So monarchical systems today also it is present in customary sense only, in a customs only, that does not affect any kind of that economy or polity. But in customary sense today also you are seeing in many countries that traditional authorities are present. After the traditional authority, charismatic authorities. What is the charismatic authority? Charisma means an extraordinary quality possessed by some individuals. Means charisma is a person's having some kind of a person's having some kind of a people thinks that they had some extra quality, some extraordinary persons. That kind of persons are known as charisma. that the people think they have the unique power to capture the imagination and devotion of the common people. Like today, people mainly, like for Mahatma Gandhi, they see that are charismatic personality, like B.R. Ambedkar having charismatic personality. Today, many gurus, many babas you are seeing today in India, or they have that kind of people think charismatic personality, that the whole means crowd, the whole people go to that babas and they have started worshipping. So these kinds of things are getting normalized today also. This is a kind of example of charismatic authority. So here it is saying that the charismatic leaders proves his power through miracles. Some miracles they are doing, military and other victories of the dramatic prosperity of the disciples. Charismatic leaders also retain their authority as long as they prove their miraculous powers in the eyes of their disciplines. Means as long as they prove their miraculous power, they prove their extraordinary power, superpower. Up to that point only people believes in those charismatic authority, and when it started deteriorating and when it started not proving that kind of things, then obviously that are coming to not coming to the power, that are means not getting that kind of a recognition from the people. So these are the example of charismatic authority. So it is also said that charismatic authority is not dependent on customary beliefs or written rules. It is purely the result of the special quality of the leaders who rules or rules in the personal capacity. What rules he or she is making. Charismatic authority is not organized also. Therefore, there is no paid staff or administrative structure. So these kinds of things you can call to the charismatic authorities. You can define the charismatic authority. Now, coming to this kind of rational legal authority. So today, the you are seeing the democracy where you are selecting the your representatives, that the persons who are ruling, the persons who are governing, they are known as legal rational authority, because that the positions are based on rule, that position are based on merit system. That is the example of rational legal authority. So this term, it refers to a system of authority, both rational and legal. It is vested in a regular administrative staff that functions according to certain written rules and laws. So that systems are known as rational legal authority. Here, people are accepting the validity of both the ordinance and the rules, and at the same time respect the positions or titles of those who enforce the rules. Rational legal authority is a distinctive feature of a modern society. So today, modern society, what you see, that is the features of rational legal authority. So today every rules and regulations are based on the written rules and regulations. It is a reflection of the process of rationalization. Recall that Weber regards rationalization as a key feature of Western civilization and typical product of human thought and deliberation. So after Renaissance, these things, so rational legal authorities came to the picture. So this was the main things about the differentiation in the traditional authority, between traditional authority, charismatic authority, and rational legal authority. One more term is there, that is, if you come to the one more term is there, that is routinization of charisma. Routinization of charisma. So, what is the routinization of charisma? As a charismatic authority is based on the personal quality of a person, the problem of succession arises with the death or disappearance of the leader. What is happening? The routinization of charisma is that as charismatic leader, what the person thinks that they have the superpower, some extraordinary power, some extraordinary quality, some miracles they are doing, they are performing. So, after the death of such persons, because the persons are not immortal, sometimes the death happens. So after the death of the person, what happens, that the qualities of the persons goes down, means succession arises, the problem of the succession arises with the death of that or disappearance of those leader. So what happens, the person who takes the position of the leader may not have that charismatic power. A type of organization develops to disseminate the core message of the leader. So a kind of organization develops, because if you see the charismatic authority where the organizations is not there, means they have not they having the paid staff. But what happened, the routinization of charisma, the organization develops to disseminate the core message of the leader, but original charisma is transformed into either the traditional authority or rational legal authority. So Max Weber called this as a routinization of charisma. So here it is said that the original charisma, that charisma which we have seen, the charismatic authority, that original charisma is either changing into traditional authority That going back to the traditional authority, either coming to the modern authority, that is rational legal authority. So these kinds of cycles here happen. Rational legal authority. So here it is happening in this routinization of charisma. So it is the routinization of charisma. If the if the charismatic figure is followed by a son or daughter or a close relative, traditional authority results. Or the other hand, if there is rule and regulation on that basis, the if leaders are selected, then obviously it comes to the rational legal authority. If any that the son of that person's the leaders who has died or demises have happened, then after that his sons or daughters rules, then it is traditional authority. But after the written rules and regulations, the members are being selected, the person's representatives are being selected, then it is coming to rational legal authority. So this recognition of charisma happens. So it is saying that where anyone who possesses these qualities can become a leader, charismatic authority can thus be described as a unstable and temporary. So charismatic authority is unstable and temporary. It's not a permanent. But yes, traditional legal authority can be permanent and rational legal authority can be permanent, because the traditional authority you know only that in some countries, in some West Asian countries, or in some where military rules and come you can see the North Korea. So where traditional authority is happening, means that kind of descent, they are ruling the country, one family is ruling the country whole. So that kind of today also it is being practiced, but that is permanent, that you can't change. But charismatic authority is not being permanent, is temporary, because leader demises happen, that the son who is sitting on that throne, that kind of the son who is ruling the other any authority is sitting on the throne, then obviously that kind of possessions, that kind of super quality, people don't think that persons consist, that persons are having. So these kinds of are not having it is not a temporary and not a permanent. So either they have to change to traditional authority, and they or the other they have to change in rational legal authority. So these are the main theories which the you can say Max Weber has propounded. Some more theories he has propounded, but the important theories I have discussed here. Some more theories are the Western method, social action method. Later on, we will see about those theories also. But here today, these theories which are important for the exam perspective that I have discussed here. So this was all about that Max Weber, what books he has written, what the major important theories he has propounded. That's all for today. Thank you. Thank you very much.